Hey, thanks for joining the channel. Today's video is part one of making a gazebo slash patio cover, and we're going to be using recycled material. I like to use upcycled to recycled material, so we'll be using pallet beams for this build. I like to use Ryobi tools because they're affordable and they get the job done, so we'll be using the angle grinder to cut off these excess nails. Now, buying your lumber, obviously you're going to be saving time, but to me, it doesn't take much time to clean up some old lumber. Okay, so right now that the wood is all cleaned up, I've got to measure up and cut off the parts that I won't be using. So for this setup, I'm generally making it 10 foot wide, also 8 foot tall, and I'm just sizing up my lumber and using my miter saw. And as you can see, it's a nicely clean cut, a stark contrast from that naturally weathered exterior on the wood. So I'm just going down the line and I'm cutting everything to size.
She was definitely shocked when she saw the type of restaurant she was going to take her to. And
Okay, so generally you want to just lay out the lumber to get a feel of how you want the frame of the patio cover slash gazebo to be, and we're going to be figuring out how to line them up. Now I'm going to be using a combination of nails and screws, and as you can see how I'm posting it, you want that nail to have great bite. So see the distance from the top plate of the lumber to the leg of the patio cover? You just want to make sure that nail fits through. So here I'm notching where the lumber is going to mount for the cross beams for all four legs. So, okay, so the next objective here is to go ahead and cut that section out, and I'll be using a saw to do that. And here I'm just using my chisel to clean up the area and make it nice and flat. But once you have these sections cut out, then you can go ahead and apply your nails and get the main U-shaped frame for the patio together. Now, just like the top one, I'm going to do the same to the bottom. And once again, this Ryobi nail gun and framing nailer is amazing. And I plan on expanding my nail guns with Ryobi. They're just great tools. So here I'm just taking the same depth lumber and I am cutting 2-foot support beams for each corner of the patio cover. So right now they're straight cut, but then I'm going to set my saw to a 45-degree angle, such as you see right here, and I'm going to cut those angles. Now I am using a Harbor Freight miter saw, and these saws have a tendency to sometimes not get the exact angle, so you have to kind of notch it just before or just after the 45-degree tick, but it cuts great and it's lasted me a long time. So now that I have these supports set up, it's just a matter of nailing them in. All right, time for a little cleanup. And if you notice I use weights or different things for support, it's because this is acting as a second person. So if you have 2 or 3 people that can assist you with holding and bracing stuff together as you nail, that's excellent. But there's some tricks and tips you'll see throughout the video that I use to get this particular job done. So I'm just going to tack that other side, and in a moment you'll be able to see both frames. Now I couldn't wait to see what it looked like standing up, so one thing I noticed right away, and if you can't tell by the video, I am not tall enough to actually erect the side. So I'm 5'10" with the boots, and the gazebo legs are 8 feet. So then I had to put this together. This is a little thing I can hoist the side with, and you can see how that works here. And like, once again, this is acting as a second person or someone to assist you in lifting the what will be considered the wall or one side of the patio cover. And as you can see how much taller it is than me. So it's basically about 2 feet and a few inches taller than I am. And that's the perfect size for me. All right, time to get some things out of the way. I had a fire pit here I had set up, and I'm just getting these bricks out of the way. So overall, this first part was just to show how you get the first parts of the patio cover built. And in part 2, we're going to get into more details, more parts, the top plates for the sides. And I appreciate you guys tuning in and checking out part 1. And definitely stay tuned for part 2. If you enjoyed the video, definitely support the channel by clicking that like button and subscribing. And there'll also be support links in the description below.